Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for January 11th. January 11th is the 11th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 354 days remaining to the end of most years, or 355 days remaining in leap years. Today's word is scud. Scud means to run or move very quickly or hastily, the act of moving along swiftly as before a gale, to move fast in a straight line because or as if driven by wind. A mass of vapory clouds or spray driven fast by the wind. And probably related to that action of moving quickly in a straight line, we have a type of long-range surface-to-surface guided missile able to be fired from a mobile launcher called a Scud missile. To scud is to dart quickly or dash the way clouds scud across the sky on a windy day, or a sailboat scuds across the surface of a lake when it finally catches a breeze. When something scuds, it's often because the wind seems to be blowing it along. Experts aren't positive about the origins of this word, but one guess is that it connects to scut, which means rabbit or rabbit's tail. Before we continue, I want to remind you that links to my research are included in the show notes, and to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section. And with that, we're going to go on to this date in 1770, when Benjamin Franklin introduced rhubarb to America. He was representing the American colonies as an ambassador in London, and he sent a crate of rhubarb to his friend John Bartram. Rhubarb is originally native to Central Asia, and it had been introduced to Europe by traders. The rhubarb that Franklin sent to America had come to London from Siberia. Rhubarb then first appeared in American seed catalogs in 1829 and soon became a popular ingredient in pies. John Bartram, by the way, was also responsible for introducing kohlrabi and poinsettias to America. On January 11th of 1759 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the first American life insurance company was incorporated. In 1805, the Michigan Territory was created. American lawyer, author, and songwriter Francis Scott Key, best known for writing the lyrics for the American national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, died on January 11th of 1843. He was 63 years old. On January 11th of 1861, Alabama seceded from the United States. Swiss chemist and academic Albert Hoffman, discoverer of LSD, was born on this date in 1906. On January 11th of 1908, Theodore Roosevelt made the Grand Canyon a national monument, and that is an amazing place. If you haven't been there to see it, you should plan a trip. It's an amazing thing to see. The first use of insulin to treat diabetes in a human patient occurred on this day in 1922. On January 11, 1923, Carroll Shelby was born. He's an American race car driver, engineer, and businessman. Founded Carroll Shelby International. Some of you automotive aficionados will be familiar with that name. On January 11, 1927, Charlie Chaplin's $16 million estate was frozen by court receivers after his second wife, Lynde Gray Chaplin, sued for divorce. Lynde was a 16-year-old hopeful actress when the 35-year-old Chaplin married her in 1924. The bitter and prolonged divorce ended after a 3-year marriage with a $1 million settlement. And that's a lot now. It was quite a lot in 1927. Also in 1927, on January 11th, Louis B. Mayer, head of the film studio Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, announced the creation of the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences at a banquet in Los Angeles, California. On this day in 1928, Stalin banished Trotsky. Leon Trotsky, a leader of the Bolshevik Revolution and early architect of the Soviet state, was deported by Soviet leader Joseph Stalin to Alma-Ata in remote Soviet Central Asia. He lived there in internal exile for a year before being banished from the USSR altogether by Stalin. In 1935, Amelia Earhart became the first person to fly solo from Hawaii to California. On January 11th of 1949, the first network television broadcast took place as KDKA-TV in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, went on the air connecting the East Coast and Midwest programming. In 1964, United States Surgeon General Luther Terry released his report on behalf of the U.S. government announcing a definitive link between smoking and cancer. He deliberately waited until Saturday to release it, so as to limit its effect on the stock market. In 1973, Major League Baseball owners voted in approval of the American League adopting the designated hitter position. This would allow teams in the American League to use a designated pinch hitter that could bat for the pitcher while still allowing the pitcher to stay in the game. From the beginning, baseball purists have decried the designated hitter in bitter moralistic terms, arguing that it took away from baseball's integrity. The rift between pro and anti-designated hitter fans has continued to the present day. I don't have an opinion about that one way or the other, but I am very aware of the anti-feelings about it. American actor and comedian Paul Lynde died on this day in 1982. He was 55. On this day in 1989, President Reagan gave his farewell address. On January 11, 2010, Miep Gies, the last survivor of a small group of people who helped hide a Jewish girl, Anne Frank, and her family from the Nazis during World War II, died at the age of 100 in the Netherlands. After the Franks were discovered in 1944 and sent to concentration camps, Gies rescued the notebooks that Anne Frank had left behind describing her 2 years in hiding. These writings were later published as Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, which became one of the most widely read accounts of the Holocaust. On January 11 of 2012, Joran Sloot admitted to Peru murder. He had been a long-time suspect in the unsolved 2005 disappearance of the American teen Natalie Holloway in Aruba. He pled guilty to the murder of 21-year-old Stephanie Flores in Lima, Peru. Flores was killed on May 20th, 2010, exactly 5 years to the day after Holloway went missing, while on a high school graduation trip to the Caribbean island. In 2015, the stunning Swedish-Italian model and actress Anita Ekberg died on this date at the age of 83. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, links to my research are included in the show notes. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share and let me know what you think in the comments. While you're on the interwebs, check out my other channel, 8 Susquehanna. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. It helps if you actually remember to hit the record button. Open wide. There, there's a little birdie on my front porch. Alrighty, back to work. Okie dokie, Smokey. Okay, that's all one long sentence. Alright, that's a lot of words. I don't know how to say that. Well, figure it out in editing. We did that yesterday. Some things just can't be done. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? She's not a man. See, this is what happens when we're not scripted. This is why I don't do live shows.